Right now, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson. 5 things that we learned. United versus Leeds at Ellen Road yesterday. First one up, Garnacho hits back. And that's exactly what you want. I can't believe we had some absolute helmets in the week digging out an 18-year-old. At the game on Wednesday, I thought Garnacho was being positive. He was always looking forward as soon as he got the ball, and that's what you want from 18-year-olds and from wingers. You're not asking them to do too much defensive responsibility. You're asking them to get on the ball and attack at all costs. And Garnacho's kind of got that in himself anyway, that all he wants to do is go forward. So I can't believe some people was complaining about the lack of productivity from him on Wednesday. He looked our biggest threat probably in the first half. But, you know, he came on. He had speed. He had agility, and obviously a very, very clinical finish. Young players that aren't meant to be consistent. Sir Alex Ferguson told you that. You need to start listening when greats of the game start talking like that. Young players don't have consistency. You just want to see them push the envelope and try things and be brave, and that's exactly what Garnacho's about. He's got an X factor about him, and he's got absolute bags of ability, and we saw that again at Ellen Road. Number 2, Sabitzer, steady. I thought he was really good yesterday, in a very sort of solid sort of sense, dependable. And you need that. You can't just have everyone being erratic. You can't, like Paul Pogba, you wouldn't have ever called him dependable, would you? Because some weeks he'd pull out a 10 out of 10, some weeks he'd drop a 2 out of 10. And that's not a good sort of trait. You want someone to sort of sit right in the middle, and I thought Sabitzer kind of done that. He was aggressive and combative in the middle. That could have been a real baptism of fire, that. He's played Leeds twice. The fact he's come through that sort of intensity, like the midfield battle at the weekend, I've seen it described as a marathon and a bleep test. You know, there wasn't a lot of technical ability on show in the midfield, but you know, he was aggressive when he needed to be, and he was solid where he was needed to be as well. And I'm really excited to see how he performs alongside Casemiro, because I think it'll be a lot easier for him to go and do something then. He definitely provides something a little bit different. There is an element of quality to him, and it's an Eriksen style quality that he has as well. And I think he could end up being a bit of a fan favourite by the end of the season. I don't think anyone will be upset if he ends up getting a permanent gig out of this. Next up, So that game was a tough watch for 70 minutes. It was a bit of a shocker, bore fest for a good 70 minutes or so. Starting and stopping constantly. There was a big lack of quality about it. Not a lot of chances either way. Some tough tackles. Honestly, if you'd have took the badges off the teams and I told you that was a championship game, you definitely would have believed it. Leeds made it a slugfest, and ultimately United's quality shone through in the end, thankfully, but it was a hard watch. Number 4, Maguire's issue. So he wasn't the only one, but when you've got De Gea, who's deficient in playing out from the back, you've got Maguire, who I can't believe people used to argue with me and tell me that this guy was a progressive passer, because the stats said he was a progressive. Joy was a progressive passer because he was passing it to Luke Shaw all the time. It was at a 45-degree angle and 20 yards away from him. That doesn't mean he's a good passer. I've never seen someone so cumbersome and slow and take 4 or 5 touches when they could, you know, control it and get it out of their feet. The levels of our playing out and ball playing ability when Martinez came on were just night and day. It was so different watching him. But from a defensive point of view, he looks like he makes those around him nervous. His confidence looks shot. Even though he was defensively, individually fairly okay, I think he was probably at fault for one of the chances Leeds had. I think he needs to go in the summer, because I don't see how he can be kept around with the value of him and the captaincy, probably ex-captaincy, by the summer around his neck. I think it'll be a real negative for him. But let's end on the positives, because we did pick up 3 points, grinding out wins that we probably wouldn't have done in previous seasons. Ten Hag has a clear philosophy that is on display for everyone to see. Marcus Rashford, who we've not even touched on here, cannot stop scoring. It's an absolute joke. Where has this been hiding in him? You know, I've been a Marcus Rashford fan since before he broke free from the academy, and I've never seen him have this rate of scoring ever. It's sensational to see. De Gea's just matched United's all-time clean sheet record, so congratulations to him for that one. Sancho has returned with a start. Wasn't a stellar performance, but it's good to see him actually getting some minutes. Sabitzer looks like it was a very shrewd acquisition. And with Arsenal faltering, some people are getting carried away, but not this call sign. We'll just take it one game at a time and see where it goes. We have got a hard week coming up for us, so it'd be good to see if we can get through that. But let me know your thoughts on yesterday's game and how you think the rest of the week is going to pan out, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.